California Highway Patrol think they have some crooked cops. They want you to go on the inside.
Go undercover within the department? That's awesome.
We put you with a rookie named Jon Baker.
So who am I playing?
Francis Llewellyn Poncherello.
Are the first two female names?
John, I like you. You remind me of my husband.
He is really handsome.
You've had 23 surgeries. You can ride a motorcycle, I'll give you that.
Yes, ma'am. Like a mother.
No.
What's up? I'm John.
Poncherello.
Awesome, man. We're partners. Let's kick this off with the real thing.
Oh, dude.
If you're homophobic or whatever, that's cool.
No. You think I'm homophobic?
Jon Baker? The Baker?
CHP.
Hi, welcome to What the Flick. I am Christy. This is Alonzo. He is the Ponch to my John.
P-A-U-N-C-H.
To my J-O-H-N. Yeah, so I am not gonna describe Chips. I'm gonna let Alonzo do that. It's very complicated. It's a movie version of the TV show Chips. Tell us about it.
Yeah, in title only, but basically Dax Shepard, who also wrote and directed, stars as John, who is a former extreme sports motorcycle guy who's pretty much broken every bone in his body and is now trying to become a member of the California Highway Patrol in order to win back his estranged wife, played by Shepard's real-life wife, Kristen Bell. Meanwhile, there are dirty cops in the department who are stealing, who are knocking over armored cars, which means that the FBI is sending in an undercover man played by Michael Peña, who is having to pass himself off as Francis Poncherello to get to the bottom of the dastardly deeds. Will these guys become best friends and bond and save the day? Take a look.
Pretty badass. Being all suited up for battle.
Or looking like UPS drivers? Super cool. Go Brown, right?
This job is my one shot at saving my marriage.
What are you wearing?
My uniform.
It's like you're 3 beers too intimate.
I'm a tough motorcycle cop. I got no emotion.
What's your job?
Find the dirty cops.
Check it. You're FBI.
Yep.
Hey, we need to focus.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm just like kind of powerless when it comes to yoga pants, you know?
Let's get you out of this parking lot. You have a visible erection. You think you can ride with that?
I don't know.
So were you a fan of Chips? We gotta explain this first. I liked Chips as a kid.
I knew it existed. I was not really a big watcher of it. Weirdly enough, to prepare for this movie, Dave and I watched, have you seen the episode where Donnie Most plays a Gene Simmons type devil rocker?
No, I probably did at some point in my childhood.
It's
but left my
pretty
brain.
great. If you could go find that episode. It's from the last season. Like Larry Wilcox had already left. They had like the substitute blonde guy.
There's like shark jumping going on.
Yeah,
here.
no one cared by that point.
Wait, why did you watch that episode of all the Chips episodes?
It popped up in TV and we're like, oh, Donnie Most is a Satan rocker. Yes, absolutely. I can't even figure out, like, was the idea of this movie like, hey, 21 Jump Street made money, so let's just do another silly old cop show and do something with it? Because they don't, you could call this movie anything. Like its connection to the actual Chips pretty much begins and ends with the names and the Eric Estrada cameo.
And their jobs, like they're CHP officers.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I don't understand why it exists. So often with TV shows from the 70s, they will take it and they will make a parody of it.
Right.
Like Dukes of Hazzard did that.
Or Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I feel like 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street were a little more affectionately faithful to it. Like
Yes.
it was funny, but not making fun.
Yeah,
of
they
it,
embraced the inherent absurdity of the concept, but then sort of ran with
But
it.
in like a smart way, like in a funny, smart way. Like
Yeah.
I like those movies.
Those movies are great.
This is just dumb, and this movie hates women. I mean, there's a whole gay panic element of it, which I will let you pontificate about. But I will talk about how much this movie hates women, because every single woman in this thing is a shrew, or she's oversexed, or it's like she's throwing herself at one of these guys. Kristen Bell gets it worst of all. I don't know why she said yes to this beyond just being supportive of her husband.
Or Jane Kasmerick gets it pretty bad too.
Yeah,
Well, Jane
true.
Kasmerick deserves way better than what she has put through in this movie.
Yeah, so like Kristen Bell is the estranged wife that he wants to win back, and she leaves him for Josh Duhamel because like who wouldn't? and so she's awful. She's like vapid and opportunistic, and I don't. Maybe it was fun for her to play an awful character, but she's not like an interestingly awful character enough to make it worth her while. Yeah, this is raunchy, but not in a inspired way. It's like a lot of dick jokes, a lot of gay panic and dick jokes.
The gay panic stuff I didn't find offensive because I think that Dax Shepard is coming from a place where he's trying to make a comment about gay panic.
Right.
Like the joke is supposed to be that Peña's character is freaked out by certain situations of male intimacy, and then the movie wants to call him on that. At the same time, the movie is also framing those moments of male intimacy in a way that's like, ew, isn't this weird, you know?
Right.
But
they want to have it both ways.
It kind of, yeah. It boils down to this though, it's not funny.
It's not.
This movie's not funny. It felt like it was 4 hours long. I was like, when they kind of kick into the third act and you're like, they're finally gonna go after the bad guy, I was like, oh my God, is this ever gonna end? You know?
Not.
So I couldn't even, I would have to have been more amused to be even slightly offended at this point.
I wasn't offended by it either. It was just lame and flat and straining.
It's weak, yeah. It's like I see what you're going after, but you're not carrying it off. You know, Vincent D'Onofrio is in another movie. Vincent D'Onofrio thinks he's in a Michael Mann movie. He is playing like straight up villain and not funny at all. And the handling, I mean, like, yes, even if you're doing like a wacky parody of a cop show, there has to be an actual crime that they solve. But that part of the movie is so on another plane and not interestingly handled and not funny and not anything at all.
What is it? It's like art. They're stealing art. Right.
Yeah, they're stealing money that they're gonna buy art with because that's easier to smuggle so that Vincent D'Onofrio can send his son to rehab. It's like really endlessly convoluted.
Yeah, we were talking about Juliette Binoche in Ghost in the Shell. Like Vincent D'Onofrio is our Juliette Binoche.
Kind of, yeah, totally. I mean, and I saw Shepard's previous film Hit and Run, and it wasn't great, but I remember I looked back at my review and I was like, there are enough pieces here where this guy has something as a writer director, and I want to see what he does next. And well, be careful what you wish for, because this is not good at all. And if he's gonna make something that's interesting, maybe just don't remake TV shows. I mean, clearly he loves motorcycles and cars, and so I guess maybe he thought that would be a good fit. But this is just deadly.
It is. And although people were laughing all around me, at a Thursday night showing at the Grove.
Okay, my matinee was tomb silent.
Yeah, Thursday night. Maybe they'd all had a couple of cocktails beforehand because they were like, look here, Michael Peña just put his face in a Dax Shepard's crotch. It's hilarious. So yeah, I wanted to laugh. Again, I'm not sitting there going like, entertain me, Dax Shepard. Like I wanted to laugh.
I did, and I laughed. I laughed twice, and even those were of the.
Were you distracted by the inconsistency of what freeways they were on?
They do, the geography is all over the place. Like they're like Long Beach to Glendale in seconds, which is a little crazy. Did you notice the cameo by the La La Land on-ramp?
I did, yes, the 105 east to the 110 north. It was another day of sun. But then all of a sudden he's on the 105 westbound when he was going east. I know my El Segundo freeways. So yeah, and then they were in Long Beach all of a sudden. Yeah. And I find these things very frustrating. This is like a whole other show. Geography.
This is the Californians review movies.
We're gonna delve that.
Yeah, I really all I wanted to do was find this funny, and it's not funny.
Okay, so what is your number?
I give it a 1.5. It's like for the 1.5 or 2 maybe kind of laughs I got out of it.
I give it a 1. Our numbers are 1.3. And you know what's so funny is that there are actual Chips aficionados who are angry about this movie, including Larry Wilcox.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Didn't Larry Wilcox go to jail for like securities fraud?
It's like $12 million or something.
Which
like
does not mean he can't be offended by the Chips movie.
He needed the money. He was very ashamed. Okay, so our number is 1.3. It's at 19% on the tomato meter. But we love you all so much that we came back to talk about it for you.
So to basically throw ourselves in front of this movie and say, don't!
Bye.